Welcome to Immigration Quicktake. This is Ellie Rutledge Silver with the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Today, Senators Reed, Durbin, Murray, Leahy, Menendez, Franken, and Hirono introduced the Fair Day in Court for Kids bill. Here to discuss the legislation is Greg Chen, Director of Advocacy at AILA. Greg, thanks for joining me. What does this bill plan to do?
Ellie, our nation has one of the most complicated immigration systems in the world. But one of the huge flaws in our system is that it does not guarantee legal counsel to people facing deportation. This is an incredible problem in the justice and fairness of our system. The new bill that's been proposed today would take a huge step in correcting that injustice in our legal system. Importantly, this bill would clarify and expand the access to counsel for people in removal and deportation processes. It makes sure that there's access to counsel for people who are in proceedings, including those who are in detention and in CBP facilities, as well as people who are subject to fast-track removal processes like expedited removal or reinstatement of removal. The bill also guarantees the appointment of counsel paid for by the government for unaccompanied children, for vulnerable people like those who are disabled, or people who are victims of abuse, torture, or violence, and also for a broad category of individuals for whom fairness and efficient resolution of the case requires the appointment of counsel. The last thing that I'll just mention that the bill does is it also expands and strengthens legal orientation programs, reporting about legal representation, and also services for individuals in the system.
Why is this proposed legislation important?
This bill brings us a huge step forward in ensuring fairness and due process in our deportation proceedings. In fact, in the past 2 years, over 112,000 children and families face deportation without a lawyer. Most people in deportation don't have lawyers to represent them. Of the 121 people arrested in the January raids on families, less than half had lawyers in the removal process. How can we expect a woman who has just crossed the border with her infant child in her arms to describe her story of persecution using legal terms like torture or asylum to fit herself into a legal category if she doesn't have somebody to explain the process to her? The immigration legal process without lawyers is like a game of Russian roulette, where the odds are just completely unfair. And in fact, statistics show that. Asylum seekers in expedited removal are in fact 12 times more likely to be granted asylum if they have a lawyer to represent them. For children, it's 5 times more likely that they will be granted asylum if they have a lawyer. So this bill is so important to take that step forward to stop those unfair aspects of our legal system that don't guarantee a lawyer for people.
What else is happening on the Hill?
So today, AILA did a telepress conference with Senator Menendez, one of the bill sponsors, and other experts to explain the benefits of this council bill that was introduced today. It's such an important step that this has happened because also going on in Congress now is a continuing effort to attack our refugee and asylum system. And we've already had many more hearings, even in January and probably coming forth, about problems with bringing refugees into our country. And what we keep forgetting, it seems, up here in Washington and on the Hill, is that there are Central Americans coming into our country now in much larger numbers who are fleeing the incredible violence uncontrolled by the government, and families facing domestic abuse need protection here in the United States. But those categories of protection are being attacked still. Another important hearing that happened today on the Hill was a hearing on the EB-5 program. That took place in the House this afternoon, and last week there was another hearing in the Senate on the same topic. The EB-5 program is set to sunset at the end of this fiscal year in September. AILA submitted comments formally to the committees about these hearings and about the program to make sure that Congress understands the benefits of the EB-5 program and how it contributes to for an investment and to job growth here in the United States. Coming in April is AILA's National Day of Action, where hundreds of AILA lawyers will be coming to Washington to tell Congress about the importance of immigration reform and the various priorities we have for improving our immigration system. We hope you will join us for that incredible day. Please look on our website for information about how to sign up. Thanks.
Thanks, Greg, for joining me. For the rest of you, please stay tuned for more updates from the American Immigration Lawyers Association.